recording.
Today we're going to show you how to make an oil dish. To start, we have a piece of 25 attached to a blowtube. You can pull a point or whatever you want, but just get a piece of 25 and attach it. This piece is really long. Usually you want to work on a piece about half the size, but make them so quick, just like that, enough tube all the time. The dish is going to be Troutman Mighty Moss. We're going to coil pot it to the end of here and use exclusively this color on it for the whole dish, despite our film man's objections. So, with that little hot, start a coil pot.
I'm going to film it from this side.
Probably.
Literally just made a guest appearance in the video. Alright, whenever you're ready.
You don't have to start on a piece of 25 if you have a piece that you need to taper the 25 down onto in order to then bring it out to the 25. That's fine too. The 25 just makes it easier for dish working and whatnot than on a smaller tube. You'll see why in a bit. The dish at the end should be able to hold about a $50 sized coin, or a toonie for our Canadian friends. This color doesn't seem to be the smoothest to coil pot, but it don't matter, it'll puff out in the end. Pretty thick color, it seems. It's Troutman Mighty Moss, if I didn't say it, can't remember. Safety brakes. And I start to close up the end. There you go, now you can switch sides again. Now that the coil pot's on there, just need to heat it up a bit. Actually quite a bit. Even all the wall thicknesses out, yeah, you got it. If you need to learn how to coil pot, see the other video. Blow hose malfunction. Remember to keep your tube at a slight angle. That way it's falling down on itself, not stretching outward. A couple puffs on the blow tube while it's in the flame is fine after you get used to it, like now. Now start to also get some of the clear out as well as the color. That way when that puffs out, it gives you a bigger dish ridge than just a 25mm tube. Puff it out as much as you want to puff it out, because that's going to change the size and the diameter. Alright, now that that's about the diameter that you want it to be, or that I want it to be, now we're going to shape the dish with our paddle and our elm arbor. Get the whole thing, not the clear, just the color, ripping hot. And then couple spins just to get your shape. Puff and push.
If I put the camera in front of you and you do what you're doing by looking through the lens, just...
Oh yeah, it's fine. Go for it. Do what you need. You're still puffing until a lot of the color goes away. That shaping the inside to be nice and smooth, instead of just the outside. If your dish is uneven inside, it's ugly and nasty. Should have previewed that color.
I like how it kept the lines from coil potting. It's kind of like spiraled.
Yeah, that's just a sparkly shit.
Yeah. It's cool. Moving on.
And now I need to detach it. And take a punty. Just get the tip of it and cold seal it to it. Keep it on center as much as possible. If it's not on center, it's very hard to keep it easy later. You'll see what I mean. Stab down, your little tug. Now you got to pull the dish off. Heat exactly on the color band. The color takes longer to heat than clear, so you're really just getting clear hot and the color warm hot. And with your blow hose in your mouth, you give it a puff and a pull. Once you feel the glass starting to melt, that's when you start puffing and pulling. Right about now. And you do that once more, usually. That's what you're left with. Now, since we don't want much of a clear color on there, just going to heat it up. You're just going to drag it all along there, get everything nice and even.
I always use my glass scissors, but then like sometimes it breaks
It's a pain in the ass, and you got to keep reheating it. So get yourself a nice oxidizing flame. You're really only focusing the lip of the dish. You're not worried about the inside as much as you are the outside of it. Because the inside will be worked all by itself in a second once you start flaring it in the, or flipping it really hard in the L marker. So you just come in here, really rapidly spin it. That's going to force out the exterior as well as start to shape the lip. You start to see it getting a little better. It's going to take a couple times each time. I'm sure there's better ways to do this. This is the only one I know. After a couple of them, in order to get the lip of it perfectly flat, give it a couple spins, and then you also give it a little nudge. Just a little tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. There you go. Now we have our dish. Now for fun's sake, we're going to put some dots on the side of it. It's kind of an ugly dish right now. This is just basically a dish shape. First time. If you don't have a hand torch, they're like $60 for the generic on eBay, or $100, $120 for the Gentech or Smith little torch. You have no excuse not to have one. Use the number 7 tip, or this tip is the blast shield one. Really important that you get all this shit melted in perfect. If it's not, it's probably going to flake off and fall off when the customer uses it normally. seals off, you just get rid of any devitrification that's on the bottom, as well as the cold seal mark if you have much. You will, so make sure you do this on every one of them. I always like to give this a little heat afterwards, that way we make sure everything's uniform on the inside. When that cools off, we'll get any final devitrification on the bottom, and in the kiln it goes. That's it. There's the dish. And